Okay, number 4. So I think I'm going to work up here a bit today. So let's get going. Yeah, let's work here for a bit. 80. The one thing about video in this is I usually listen to an audiobook or some music. And that's not such an option. I need to go in one more, really. Alright, let's take some of this texture and put it in here. And get rid of that so it doesn't look like a copy. Yeah, while I'm here, I'm going to do here. Again, let's take out the copy, and I'm going to also sort out this. Let's take maybe that, put that there. Also later on I can, like, if there would be a shadow here, or it feels like there should be a shadow, you know, just a little bit of a shadow here, I can add that in. I'm not sure if, I don't think there would be, to be honest, because the light is wrapping around, so it's actually coming from behind, so I think that would easily have light on it. But again, I'll find out that once I'm sort of a bit more further down the editing. I'm also going to be quite bold, and maybe I try and sort out this here. Alright, and then let's get rid of copies. Right. Let's take that and use that there, and then it's pretty good. Alright, let's take this and let's very roughly get rid of that. Let's see where that takes us. Alright, so I need another, maybe this. And then I also need, maybe I can take, well yeah, that also needs to be here. Alright, for now that will do. Like, this need to sort of, it looks a bit copied, but I don't want to get too bogged down with hair drawing. That would be later on, and just really want to get that long sort of hair that was going through. But saying that, I'm gonna get this out, and maybe I can take this area here. Alright, that's pretty cool. Let's get rid of that. And let's dial this down a bit. And this. Let's go back up to 70. And let's take it from here. Spell it. Sometimes it's hard to actually see what sort of shade you need to sample from. Especially when they have a halo around them. Yeah, like that's too bright. Let's take this one down a bit. And this dot. And back up to 70 and take this out. That's looking quite good. Let's put a bit of detail back in there. And here. Alright, let's concentrate back where we were. Let's put some detail back here. And then we can also get rid of that, whatever that may be. Oh. Alright, let's go quite small and get these little highlights gone. Again, we just want this to be a texture for this area, not... Can bring that detail back. We can take that out. We can take that out, and we're also going to take this hair. That out as well. Probably going to have to just add a little hair in there. And this can go, but we obviously need to take this up and this down to create a bit of an edge there, which should be there. Again, like these stacks, for it to actually get everything right it's pretty hard. Let's take that. We can take this out, this out, this out. We can take that out. We're gonna take this sort of texture and fill it in here. Probably gonna add a lot more contrast to this area here. Oh. Again, stage by stage, we don't want to go. We'll take that out though. Like here, we need to, well, one, we need to take that so we get that deep black. But we want to take that deep black and sort of apply it down here. And this cloning brush has quite a hard edge to it. And that's just so I don't sort of blur. If it's too soft, the edges that I create, actually take that out. I've got a little bit of a pattern there. I create softness because it's blending out on the edges of the brush, and there's never ever, once I start doing this many little marks, you end up softening areas and losing the sharpness. Let's get any sort of patterns away. That can probably go. And this can go. Sounds like I'm sort of getting rid of a lot, but you know, you remember, like when I say this is going, I'm talking about one hair on an area very small, so it's not too different. And again, I want to keep simplify the image. I want to take out some of this complexity that you have to digest as you're looking over it. Like here, this here, I like it, but I'm probably going to dull it down a lot. So it's more the same as here, as in you see it sort of like ripped. But I don't know. That's my feeling behind it at the moment. Okay, let's get back to here. Let's go up to 80 because I want to be quite... I'm very rarely at 100%. I'd rather copy from an area and tap twice, because obviously that's then applying 100%, than straight away. Let's dull that one down. And if I can need a little bit more, let's go up to 60. I'm going to dull that one down. So again, like, I don't want any of these hairs to, one, be like over, not over, yeah, I don't want one hair to stand out there. I just want it to be the texture of the area. Let's take some of this detail and just apply it up here. Like on the stack, if it's lacking contrast, then it's very hard for it to pick up what is sharp and then it would be slightly softer. So sometimes on these areas I bring in some detail from other areas where it's picked it up a lot better. Yeah, again here, like I'm probably gonna soften all that down. The detail of the top areas of legs and things, I don't want to distract from the shape. So I have to sort of balance, not losing too much of this of the hairs and everything, but keeping still, you know, not going too far, I guess. And that's very subjective. Like, I probably think too far is a lot further along than maybe someone else who wants an image to be as pure as possible. But it's actually one of the reasons why I'm filming it all like there's a history of this edit. And I'll probably have the original image or the original stack before I've edited it as part of the presentation, so it can be, you know, you can make your own judge whether I've gone too far or not. But in the end, it's I guess it's my edit. I get to decide. I can certainly listen to people's views on whether or not, but you know, I have edited it to what I wanted. I agree with myself, and I think that's important for yourself to feel that you did what you wanted. You know, I'm not being paid to produce this to a standard for someone else. I am doing it for myself at what I want it to be. But it's also nice to get feedback on what other people think. Sometimes it changes your mind on things, you know, okay. But it's got to be a damn good argument when I'm editing this amount, and I've, you know, I know my editing and I know my style, and I'm quite confident with my style and the way that I edit, that it has to be it has to be an argument that has ground enough for me to think, yeah, okay, maybe you have a point, enough of a point for me to change my view on how I've edited something. And I think that is true from earlier years, you know, when or model shots I edited 10 years ago to how I'd edit them now, or how I feel about editing them now. So, you know, I thought a lot less about what my editing of things change people's views of how people should look. I thought a lot less about that and what it does to society than what I do now. I think a lot more about it now. And yeah, it's an odd thing. For example, let's say I did a model shoot and the head on one of the shot was better, so I would edit the head across. Like, you can now do that on a phone, you know, with one click of a button. Okay, it's not as high res, and you know, it's just for social media or whatever. You're not pixel peeping as much as what you would do if it was a, you know, manually done, maybe. But I would argue that when I did that, it's for a special one picture that needs to portray a certain look, and that look is what's being presented, and it's important that it is presented in that way because it's a brand, etc., etc. I would now say that if you're doing that to a family photo, like a snapshot, I guess that's what's, because I was also saying that I've also swapped heads for family photos, you know, back in the day when I used to do quite a lot of families and kids. I have done that, you know, many times. But then again, that is just like a special image that is on a wall that's to represent a time where you all got together and had a family photo, and you know, it wants to feel special, and you remember the day, and you know, it's not so important. I would say if you then apply that theory to a snapshot of your family, or a snapshot of someone, you know, at a zoo or on the beach or whatever, just a casual shot you take with your phone, and then you're applying these, you know, editing techniques to something so mundane as a snapshot on a beach, then I don't know, that just feels wrong. I feel like, you know, I have a phone, and I purposely bought a phone to take family photos because it is just quite raw. You take a snap, you download it to your server, and then, you know, it's there for memories. It isn't being edited. I don't use any of those things on my phone. It is just a snapshot of a memory. It's meant to be raw. It's not meant to have the best smile or the best you know, or smooth out the skins. Although those things are, I think I've turned them off, but they are generally on. You know, just basic stuff. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't want it to be that, and I feel that if snapshots are being edited to the degree of what, you know, processed automatically to the degree of someone going away and editing that picture, then like, aren't we a bit lost? Like, you know, that snapshot on the beach, it doesn't need to be perfect, you know. The skies don't need to be enriched and blue, more blue than what they are. Your skin doesn't need to be perfect. You know, it's just a snapshot, a memory. You know, if we're polluting our memories to that degree now, then my argument is that's too far. You know, then if everyone is doing that, every picture on every social media thing of every snap is not real. And I guess that's what I have a problem with editing now. When I'm editing and things, it's, am I adding to that? You know, if it's for a corporate company representing a brand, then I guess I feel less worried. But if it's, you know, more of an image of more of a mundane thing, and it's edited to such a degree, then I don't know, ethically I think about it more than I used to. Saying that, like, a job is a job and you have to earn your money, and you know, if that's what it takes, then you sort of have to make your ethical decisions. I guess it would be nice to get to a point where I could sell my own work at such a degree that I could have more of a view on these things and stand by them, because there isn't a financial connection to the decision that I make to not do that, but I'm not there yet. Okay, all right, here I'm going to sort out. I'm going to probably copy things up here and move down there, but not for now. So yeah, look, like you really can start to see the difference, like really like. So here you can start to see that this hair here, you know, I will take out, and I'll probably either take certain things and keep it within this area or dull it down. I'm not sure yet. Okay, let's also just take that out. Like that. And then, yeah, I need to copy some of this, because this is, you know, where the reason why you get this is because, you know, when you're zoomed, when your focus is very high up, this is, you know, this antenna is focused, and as it goes through the stack, it gets more and more blurred until that blurred antenna is you know, stretching from here to here, because it's totally blurred out, and then it has to look at that and understand that antenna is there and it's actually blurred. And that's very hard for it to do. So that's where these, I guess, these halos sort of come from. So here I really need to make a decision. Like, this is part of the crack, you could argue, maybe, but do I want it there? Probably not. I'd rather just to have the as this is the focal. Like here it's a bit blurry as well, so, but for now, you know, I'm not going to worry about that. Once I've edited the whole image, again, that will either stand out as an issue or it will be correct, or feel correct. Yeah, like here, I really just want it to be about, like you can see this red, this is where it struggled. All the reflections are picked up. Like in here, I probably, you can add in just a little bit more detail there. And here as well, like, you know, I'm gonna have to go quite small here. I don't want this to be a and here is very soft, so yeah, I'm gonna have to take maybe here and copy it up, but that again is another. And on the Nikon version, I didn't even have to worry about any of this because it didn't even pick it up. Although I did light it differently as a D850, so not mirrorless. And yeah, I did, as I said, I did light it differently, but I think even if I had lit it the same, that there would nowhere near as being as the same amount of detail. So I didn't have to consider any of those things. Okay. Oh, this is quite a lot of work. All these highlights need to go. And it always, on whatever stack I had, this eye area was always a struggle. It was very hard to cut the light down because you're dealing on such a small scale that if you were to cut the light down, you lose the light. You know, to just say this area here, not so much light. And trying to black out little areas so the light doesn't get through. It's so hard to, at this scale, to just apply it to just a little area. But that's why there's so many highlights. Or this is just a shiny part. Oh, that's not good. It's very hard not to make a pattern when you've got these graduated color. You know, everything's got such a gradient or a halo around it that every touch you make creates a pattern. Alright, let's get rid of that. And then take that and add that in there. And this texture here, I'll probably try adding a little bit, but I've got to take these highlights out of it first. And this texture needs to be brought into here. And I guess we need to sort of try and... Oh, that's not good. But that's for later on. Okay, here I am actually going to get rid of that blob. I can actually take that along there, and I can use that one there as well, and then maybe that one there, and then so hard to not make patterns when you... Let's take this out as well. So let's take that there, and that would be that one. And then maybe there, maybe. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's take that. Oh, that's going to be a bit of a nightmare. So let's not go there yet. So let's go down to this. Let's do a bit on this leg here. It's got 25 minutes. Let's go to 80%. So here I'm just putting in the detail either side of this hair, and then also getting rid of that. Let's get rid of that as well. Create a bit of a pattern. Yeah, when you get these bits of dust highlighted in hairs or around hairs, then yeah, it's not a quick click of a button to get rid of that. Which is why I sort of skip over those at the moment. I think I did all that. Okay, let's come back here. I think I did a bit on this. But all these highlight bits are gonna go. But I've created a bit of a pattern. So again, just picking points. And then once I've done that, I look at it and get rid of the patterns. And that's where you've got to keep on reselecting new sample points, so you're not so quickly making these patterns. Now let's take all that out. And here is very soft, so I'm going to add some detail back. Maybe from here. And maybe here a bit. And just take the extra bits away. Alright, let's work on here a little bit. Take this hair. And we want to darken a bit off. Not that dark though, so there you go. And then, yeah, I want to take this out. I don't want. Oh, bit of a pattern. Ooh. Like once you get all the highlights out, it really is like every like this little bit here, just that needs to go, because again it simplifies and simplifies, and then the things that weren't such an annoyance become an annoyance as it simplifies, and it's layer by layer. Like here. Like some of this can be got by adding in more contrast at a later stage, but God, so many of these little points are okay. So here, I don't know. I'm gonna take that away. And let's take the edge of that. Alright, this needs detail, so we're gonna put that in there, and then we don't want it to look the same, so we will. And again, that needs to come in here as well. Like sometimes on this, at the moment, it's aligned on the, so it's always. The sample point is aligned, so it's always taking the same distance when you're copying, but on things like that, sometimes it's better to, well, to have it fixed, so it's always taken from the same place. Let's come down on that and create this hair like that. And then we need to take that, because we've got a bit of a pattern. When I come to sharpen this, like some of these softer areas are be a bit more heavy-handed on the sharpening, and then only apply it to those areas. Yeah, but all this background needs to go. All right, let's add a bit of texture in here. Take out that bit of hair that I put in by mistake. Let's put that hair in. And I'm gonna take this area here. Oh, that's better. And then maybe here. Yeah, that's good. No, let's leave that for now. So yeah, that's looking a lot better. But yeah, all this needs to be done, and all this. So you sort of see here, like here it's sort of cracked. Maybe I dull that down, I don't know. But you can really see the difference when you come up here and all these highlighted parts are still here. It's very hard when you're light, well, when I was lighting these, because a lot of light is bouncing down the lens, because you're looking, the light is shining at the lens. So there's a lot of blocking of light. So I've got a little, I guess, a little stand that goes over the insect. And then I am got little bits of card that I am blocking the light, so really the light that's going down the lens is just the insect. Anything extra, like the background, I have cards blocking that light down the lens. And even then, like you really have to go millimeter up to the edges of the insect to stop all that light bouncing around. But it's such a nice way to light the insect, I find, from behind. You know, and wrapping the light around it. Okay, a lot of these are on the hairs, and then I don't really feel like doing this at the moment. Here's a good example of sort of the second layer. Like here, you start to see, because the first pass have been done, you notice that, you know, there's just little sections here that, oh, that's not good. That, you know, that little blob there, and you know, it's very small little things. I'm gonna take this hair out. Am I gonna take this hair out? I am. I'm gonna be brave. There you go. Like, yeah, these little pinpoint highlights. Look at another bit of plastic. How am I doing? 10 minutes. Alright, let's work a little bit on here. Alright, these highlights need to go, so that's quite easy to decide. Here, again, it's quite easy to take that, and I guess I can use this area if I take off that to maybe take from here. So I just don't want to fill it all with the hair, because it actually hasn't got any on. So if I take from this, then it will still keep its texture where there is none. Yeah, that's good. So let's take that area again, go up here. And then go here. Very nice. And then what I do is I tone that down a little bit, and then I just put the hair as if it's just going over the top. just to smooth it so it's not a hard edge. Yeah, that's very nice. Pleased with that. Okay, let's put the alignment back on and just take the texture right up to the edge. Yeah, this is where I should already take out the highlights here, so I'm not copying them up the top and creating work for myself. Alright, and let's do that little trick again. So let's take my sample point and just and now I can take my sample point from here and just build it up. Okay, and then we're going to go right down, put the alignment back on. See, I guess my little monogram thing with the extra buttons, like if I am turning that alignment on and off, then that's the time where I usually apply you know, one of the buttons on it to turn that on and off. So it speeds it up. Right, here I can actually do it with aligned because I can sort of sample from different bits now. Got a bit of a pattern there. Let's put a little bit more detail. Let's take that one out. Let's dull some of these down because we really want to let's turn this up and get rid of that. So here again, I'd want to just create the, let's dial these down. I want to create the shape of this without the, without the complexity of what's going on. But I need to up that a bit because that's got a bit soft. So now I want to take some of there we go. Maybe I can take some of this. That's pretty good. I don't like this. And I don't like this. So we've got 5 minutes. So yeah, so you'll see here now that once that highlight is gone, it is you concentrate more on the dent, I guess. You know, if I come out here, yeah, like it's really, yeah, a lot of these hairs are going to have to go. All right, let's continue where we were. What am I on? 70. Let's come up to 80. This is very soft here. I'm going to draw on hairs there. But that I need to test out. Like, I've done many model shots and hair, but you know, these are not model hairs, so I'm gonna have to find a technique where I can add detail here. But you know, if you look at this hair, it's multiple colors all the way along. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I might have a bit of Googling, see if there's a technique out there that maybe I can use. Let's get rid of this. And let's take this into here. Shouldn't really be doing this yet. I just wanted to do it because I really wanted to take this hair out, and I need this. Yeah, I shouldn't really be doing this because this is where I need shape dynamics on to but you sort of see the technique that I will use. I will basically like go in here and draw in black. So I will just, for myself, I'll smooth that out for now. Where do I want to go next? Let's get rid of some of these. So 80%. There's a lot going on here. Oh, don't want one there. But I do want one there. That looks like a copy, so let's... Yeah, and all this needs to come out really. Which is a lot of work. here. I'm going to take that out. But I'm not going to take that out. That's an hour. So what have we done? So yeah, we did a lot here. We did a lot on that highlights. So yeah, you really start to see now that it's getting somewhere. I just need to keep on focusing on just taking out the obvious. And then, yeah, these hairs on the legs and things will be clearer what needs to go and what needs to stay. But yeah, it's coming along. So I'll leave it there. That's number 4. I'll see you on number 5.